You're on.
Okay, we're getting ready to can up some beans. I've got, a heaping cup. About 1.25 cups of beans per jar.
And the jar size?
These are quarts. I've got 7 of them because that's all my canner will hold. And in each jar we're going to put, a scant teaspoon.
Of what?
No, we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of garlic per jar.
Of course, this is all to your
taste.
preference, yeah.
Let me get that out of the way because I don't think I need it. Okay. And then the onion powder, I will put a full teaspoon to each jar. Cumin, I'll go 1/2 teaspoon per jar. I like cumin. I'm surprised I'm only putting 1/2 teaspoon in there. But you can always add more later when you get ready to use them.
Yeah, it's a little strong smelling, so it's a strong spice, but we like it, and we'll probably add more as we cook it. It depends what we use the beans for.
Right. And if you're not a big fan of cumin, put 1/4 teaspoon in. Yeah, for chili, for the type of beans we're making, we want them. Okay, I'm using a medium chili powder. I'm going to go with a full teaspoon per jar.
Really, that much?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, our primary use for these will be probably refried beans. We'll smash them up and refry them and then have them in burritos and what have you.
Okay, and then the last ingredient will be my salt. You can use canning salt. Do not use iodized salt, table salt. It's got to be a pure salt. I shouldn't have put a full teaspoon.
Well, that seemed like quite a bit. But
yeah, well, the recipe calls for a full teaspoon. 2 of the jars will have extra.
We'll see if we can figure it out later.
I don't think it'll be that big of a deal.
No.
Okay, that part's done. Now,
Do I need to move?
yeah, I have my ham broth that we made yesterday heating up. Pretty good and warm. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And then we're going to fill the jars up with ham broth. You can add dried minced onion to these too if you'd like. I just didn't want to use up all my dried minced onion. We want to go to 1-inch headspace. Now I'm doing the dry, non-soaked. My beans have all been washed and everything, but they haven't been soaked. This is not an approved method with the USDA, but I've been doing it for quite a while. You want to soak your beans for 8 hours overnight, you'll be just fine. The beans will be mushier. That's about the only difference there. Okay, so we will debubble. Always debubble.
Yeah, you'll notice a lot of room in there for the beans, but they'll fill up when they swell up.
Yes, they sure will.
Well, the water won't get any more, but the beans will. It'll soak up that water.
Then you take a paper towel, preferably soaked in vinegar. Wipe your rims real well. Make sure there's nothing on the rims to keep the lid from sealing. Put your lid on. Get you a rim and finger tight. Don't crank it down. Just like that. That's all you do. The jar's a little warm, so now we're going to move it over to the counter, which I have warm water in it, and I've got the water on underneath it.
You mean the fire?
The fire, yeah.
Yeah.
To warm it up. You don't want to use cold jars, cold water, or cold jars and hot water, or hot water in a cold jar, because you will crack your jars. And you go through all this work, you don't want to break your jars. So, well, I think that'll be it for now, and then I'll get the counter filled up and I'll show you what it looks like just before I close it up. Okay, I got my 7 quarts in there, and now I'm preparing I have the All-American. It's a gasketless sealing, and I'm preparing it by putting some petroleum jelly here along the seal. It helps to keep it. Then we put it on here.
Oh, you're hitting up. That's not right.
Okay.
Get your arrow lined up.
Got my arrow lined up and in there. Okay, now, Mike, these all have about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So Mike took these here and he fixed it up for me so that it's a quick way for me to figure out if I've got my everything set right. Over here. And it all sits in there nice and neat. Everything. Okay. Now on this one here, these here you bring up and you start to tighten across from each other. Don't tighten it all the way down, just get it started and move on to the next one. Always crosswise. Then we come over here, tighten, tighten, tighten.
Don't you think you need to take those out before you get too tight?
I don't usually have a problem getting them out, but I will. They're in good shape. So we just tighten them up a little bit.
That'll pull it down even.
And it pulls it down nice and even. And you just watch it as it heats up. Make sure no steam's not escaping. We bring it up to a boil, and when it starts to steam here, a steady stream for 10 minutes. We will then put on the weight, and then we shall start bringing it up to pressure. Where we live, we're over 6,000 feet, so I bring it up to 14. Usually for me it's 14.5 pounds. And on the quarts for pinto beans, it's 90 minutes of pressure cooking. So I'll pop in every now and then and show you the progress. Okay, it's got I hope you can see it, but it's got this steady stream. It's been going for about 10 minutes now. And turn that down.
But because they haven't covered it,
yep,
there's no pressure over here yet.
Right, yeah. So
is it time to cover it?
Yep, it's got 16 seconds left, which I had a little extra. So I'm putting mine at, I don't know if you can see that, it's at 15 pounds. This is 10 and this is 5. We're at over 6,000 feet, so we got to put on 15 pounds. Okay, and when this comes up to pressure, this will come up to the 15 pounds. This will start jiggling about 4 times a minute. And when that happens, we go for 90 minutes on quarts of beans. And we'll come back when the 90 minutes is about done. Okay, we've been at 14.5 pounds pressure for 90 minutes. And there's the wave is how it's been doing that 4 times every minute. Okay, now we just turn it off and let it set and let it depressurize naturally. Never stick your counter into water to cool it down fast, because you'll warp it and you'll cause the jars inside. And then when that's all done and we remove the weight, you let it sit in there for another 10 to 15 minutes, and then you just let it, open it, let it set, let it start cooling down, remove them, and let them set for 24 hours. Okay, just wanted to show you my yesterday's canning. Right here is the barbecue baked beans, and then right here is the chili pinto beans with all the chili and all that stuff in it. I can't wait to try them. We had some of the beans I cooked, and they were really good. So till next time, hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.